Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting video. So all of us know that our smartphones rule our day, rule our life these days, but there are a few apps that you have to have even before you move to Australia. It's worth checking out these apps if you're having a plan to move to Australia or on any kind of visa, or you're planning to visit, or it's for anyone who is living here or who wishes to live here. So make sure to stick around till the end and get the complete information, because I'm going to be sharing with you some interesting bits and pieces of my own life and how I can resonate with these apps every day. If you're new to this channel and don't know me, I'm Dr. Priya, PhD in biotechnology, academician by profession, moved to Australia as a skilled migrant in 2016, got my permanent residency, filing for my citizenship this year. And this channel is all about educating and making people aware of the different types of visas and process them without getting scammed by spending thousands and lakhs of rupees. So make sure to hit the subscribe and turn the notifications on to be instantly notified of the new videos. Without much delay, let's get on to today's video. The very first app you need to have is the weather app, because Australia has weird climates, very different climates in a single day. Unless places like Darwin that I've lived, and it is a very standard. You know, it's going to just be sunny. You know, you're just going to sweat and you can dress appropriately. Whereas in other parts of Australia, it's not that predictable, especially Melbourne. You can see like 3 to 4 seasons in a day. That's what people have said, but I've seen like 2 when I visited there. And Adelaide, especially, your house, I mean, my house is freezing cold, so I would dress up, you know, in a real warm clothes. When you go out, the temperature would tell you like 10 degrees, but when you go out, the sun is so dry. The heat, it's dry heat here in South Australia, and it'll be literally burning, and the clothes will be so warm. So you have to dress appropriate to the climate and the weather prediction about winds, the storms, and cyclone. I was in Darwin when Cyclone Marcus was there. Oh my God, it was an adventure. So weather is very crazy. It can go wacky at any time in Australia. So it's better you have the BOM app, which is the Bureau of Meteorology app, which will tell you to an extent very accurately, at least for 4 to 5 days. So if you're someone like me who has dried clothes outside and panics at office whether it's going to rain, then you definitely need the weather app to plan your journey, to plan your day, plan your clothing. So it's always good to be planned here in Australia. So weather app is your very first app that you must have on your smartphone if you're planning to move, if you're planning to visit, if you're planning to travel in Australia. The second app is real estate. This is very interesting. I am addicted to this app. So real estate app will help you to find houses to live, either if you want to rent, if you want to buy. Real estate app is very good. So you can use different filters and choose the properties. You can see, even before I moved here, when I was doing my application, I used to go on Gumtree, I used to go on real estate and see the different properties, how houses look like in Australia. All of us are curious to know, because we see in movies how the houses will look, but exactly how it will look. And I was really shocked. I was dreaming that every house in Darwin will be in acreage, because the suburbs that I saw, because I didn't know anything about Darwin, and when I was looking at properties, it was all in acres and acres. So I was telling my dad, I'm going to live in an acreage property. So things like this, it's nice to dream, it's nice to see the pricing, to look at some market research even before you move here. It's very interesting. So if you're someone like me who likes to explore, who wants to look at houses, because that's where we live, isn't it? Houses are a very important part of our life. That's why we call them our home. So until you are settled, you buy a property and you know you have that feeling, you don't call it a home really. So I would stay with the word property. So if you're happy and if you want to look at properties, and if you're crazy like me in enjoying looking at nice flashy houses and character mansions, then definitely get onto the real estate app and filter based on your priorities. I've got a separate video where I've explained how you can find out houses, cheap accommodations, even if you've not come to Australia, even from any part of the world, you can sit and choose houses, and what are the different terminologies that they use in Australia to rent a property. Check out this video. You will get complete information. I will not disappoint you. Let's move on to the next important app. jobs. We all need jobs. We are here. We come here, leaving our family, we leaving our own country, and everything all for money. Let's just admit the fact, we are not here to do service. So obviously we need jobs. So you have to do a bit of homework before you come here. What are the type of jobs available? It might not be called with the same name. You might be still doing the same job, but it might be called differently. It's always good to get adapted to the cultural differences, even in terms of the job market. So you might call it, say, a business manager, or you can just call yourself a manager, but here maybe you're called as a business relationship officer, or you're called as a business development officer. So the different terminologies, when you get used to it, it's always easier to crack the job market quickly. So the culture difference, so many people are so qualified that they have good language skills, but still they can't crack the Australian market because of the cultural inadaptability, or they're probably thick and firm that they really can't open up themselves or adapt themselves. Adaptation is very, very important when you're getting used to a completely new country, new set of people. So it's always good to have the job app like Seek or Indeed, and just in your free time scroll through it and see how many jobs. So I did this research. Every day I will swipe in a particular city, say Melbourne, just put Melbourne, don't filter using anything, and see how many jobs come up. And it's always, everybody knows Mondays you have the most number of jobs, and at different timings. So I'm good at analyzing these numbers, and I'm an analytics maniac. So if you're someone like me, you would definitely enjoy it. It is a need more than a desire. So make sure to have a job app on your phone. The next one is the transport. So this is very specific based on the city or state you're migrating to. But I would obviously encourage you to have Uber. I mean, it's always there in most of the phones these days, most of the cabs like Uber. And I was surprised to find these Indian cab. I forgot the name. It was working in Adelaide when I moved first. I didn't know they had service here. I think Ola. I'm not sure. I was in India and I downloaded the app and it worked here, and they have service here. So I was surprised. So yeah, so transport is another important app that you have to have. So Adelaide has Metromate, and Sydney has Opal, and Melbourne is having another different set of transport app. So make sure to check out the transport.state. So transport.victoria.gov.au, transport.nsw.gov.au, and check their apps and download it so you can plan. They've got timetables where you can plan from airport to wherever you want to go. So it'll give you all possible options using train, tram, bus, or cabs. You can filter based on it, and you can plan your journey. Life is all about planning here. So you better get used to planned life. So the next one is Gumtree. So Gumtree is an app for buy, swap, sell. So mostly people now use Facebook Marketplace, but Gumtree is traditionally the place if you are looking to settle initially. So when you're coming here, even I was freaked out with the idea of buying some used furnitures for the property, because in India, we're never used to these things. Anything, you just go to a shop and buy new. But here, things are not so affordable. If you want to go buy a brand new couch, a nice, decent couch, it'll be anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. A dining table with 6 or 8 seats will cost you like $1,000. So what people do, they believe in repurposing here. It's an economical, it's an eco-friendly option because it's not going to the bin. So people try to repurpose clothes. They try to repurpose everything. So you have a lot of thrift shops here. You have a lot of op shops here, which will sell used stuff, like the second-hand stuff. So Gumtree is definitely an option if you want to initially buy some furnitures, if you want to buy anything, textbooks, anything and everything. Gumtree is a good option. So it's always good to have your bit of play with Gumtree to check what is available. Some things are free, something you can just swap. If you have a cycle, you can swap it and get something. It's interesting. I was like, oh my God, they even sell these stuffs. So you will get to learn more about culture from Gumtree. Trust me, you will agree once you see that. You will know the things that people sell here, that people buy here, how much they price it for, what are the words they use. So that's an interesting bit that I want to save it for a separate video to talk about the different terminologies that freak me out, the different terminologies that Australians use. It's like made in Australia. It's specific for Australia. So that's a different set of segment that I want to save for a separate video. It's got to be funny. These 5 apps are definitely a lifesaver. They are a must-have for people who are here, who are planning to come here, and who are planning their life in Australia. So I believe this video was helpful. And if you like such realistic migration and visa and lifestyle advice, make sure to hit the subscribe and turn your notifications on to be instantly notified when I post some new videos. So I'll see you all in the next video.